Hey everybody, my name is Randy and this is going to be my first ever upload. So if I come across as somebody who is very inexperienced, it's because I am. I'm very terrible with public speaking and I am absolutely amazed that I'm doing this right now. I've been wanting to do this for God knows how long, but I finally summed up the courage to do it. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Please leave me your feedback. It would mean the world to me, even if it's negative. I love you guys and thank you for watching my video. So if you're still watching, thank you again. It means a lot to me. You're probably wondering what the format of my videos is going to be. What I'm going to be looking to try and do is point out the things that I could have done differently to help push my team forward. Like here I make a minor mistake of walking backwards and letting the turret get a shot on me, when I could have just stayed easily where I was and kept picking off the turret's health. That was a very non-optimum decision by me, but it was made up by the fact that Zarya has an overshield, so she makes up for that by regenerating that health back almost instantly, especially when you can pop that shield back up like I do there, which doesn't save me. But either way, she's one of the most essential characters you can have when pushing a team forward. I tend to play her as a secondary tank because as a primary tank I think that she doesn't do a good enough job, honestly. Unless you're amazing with her, which in that case you will most of the time win games for your team. But Reinhardt and Roadhog, I feel, are the best offensive tanks you can have. Reinhardt especially, because he can pop up that shield and slowly push your team forward and eat up all that damage that your team would otherwise be taking directly. And that's a huge game changer when you're playing against characters like Soldier 76, who can take out a lot of characters very quickly if he manages to land all of his shots. So if you're looking to improve your gameplay, I hope I can help you in a few ways. I'm nowhere near as good as some of the other people I've seen. I've seen Hanzo get knocked off the edge by D.Va and look up at the last second and cast his dragon, or cast it. I don't know how you would say that, shoot it. He'd look up and shoot it off, and it hit the point, clear the point, so his team could get that final push. And that made the difference because they were about to lose. Things like that is what I think makes Overwatch a great game, because while a lot of multiplayer games lack content, including Overwatch manages to do it in a way that keeps it interesting. It's constantly, new things are happening in matches, players are thinking and acting differently all the time, adapting to their surroundings. It's amazing, just silly little situations you can run into in this game. And in case if you're wondering, we are going to lose this game. There's no stopping that. I mean, our team could possibly change a few of their characters and push back theirs, but I don't think that's going to happen, seeing as how a lot of people on Overwatch like to main certain characters. The only reason I'm not switching Zarya is because she's actually helping the team a lot, because their turrets can't really kill her on their own. I'll just pop up my shield every single time, eat up the hits, and make her gun stronger and start taking out more of their turrets and pushing their team back. We get kind of close to capturing the point, I'm sure, at one point or another, but in the end it's all the same. They'll keep coming back as fast as we killed them, and they will take their point back, and we will lose this match. And that's unfortunate, but it's all part of the learning process. You win some, you lose some, and you get better. So I actually switched to Fair here, and the reason for that is because Fair can fly up into the sky out of her target's range, and Torbjorn's turrets only have a certain range that they can shoot you from. That range is actually pretty decent, and it proves to be a problem most of the time. But you'll see here that I fly in, and then I start to back off to find the sweet spot, and then I start whittling down his turret from that distance. I'm going to try and keep doing that, but my team goes ahead and makes a hard push, so I have to go ahead and go in with them, or I'm just going to end up staying back here and looking like an idiot. I managed to destroy that turret, I think, but yeah, I destroyed the turret with a little help from my teammates, of course. But this turret in that little room to the right that you see in there, the one that I was in the room with Zarya with, that's going to prove to be a big issue, because I can't really get to a point to where I can shoot that from a safe enough distance without it sniping me out of the sky. And those turrets will kill you very quick when you're somebody like Farah. I gotta say though, my main problem with this game, and I'm sure it's the main problem with a lot of people, is once I start to get to low health, I start to panic. Right there, I just got shot in the back, right up Main Street. But it's not like it really matters because we got revived. And in the end, we're not going to win this match like I said before, but we're trying to make a push so that way we don't leave on an embarrassed note. It's not really going to matter. I managed to pull off a pretty good ult here, but our team is nowhere to be found once I leave that opening, so it's GG at this point. Oh, and there it is. And that's all she wrote. I gotta say, it's kind of embarrassing, but it happens. You know how it is. And there's the defeat. Hey, but at least we got play of the game, right?
Justice reigns from above.
I honestly feel that it's most of the time important to commend the healers or the tanks, because they honestly fill the largest role on your team, and without them your team wouldn't have had a push in the first place. As you can see, I could have done much better with Zarya. This next match I found to be a lot more interesting, not only because we won, but because I play Hanzo and I never play Hanzo. I actually end up doing halfway decent with him this game, even though I'm usually not very well with him. A lot of people don't get to play Hanzo though, because every time you join a match, somebody's already playing Hanzo for both teams. But Hanzo is definitely one of the more fun characters to play. It brings me back to when I used to play Far Cry 3 with the bow and hunt all the time. So I feel like I should be amazing with it, right? Well, not exactly, because I played those games on consoles, and I just recently, within the last 2 years, got a gaming PC and started to play with a mouse and keyboard. So if I do absolutely horrible, it's probably because I'm still adjusting to my fingers, getting used to the keyboard and where the crouch is and all that fun stuff. I'd also like to point out that if you play on a really high sensitivity, I'd recommend turning that down just a couple notches. I tend to play on about 14 sensitivity at most, but especially when I'm playing a sniper character who's trying to pinpoint that shot and take down their healer, I tend to not go for the healer as much as I should, which should be rule number 1, always go for the healer, because they're just going to bring back those guys you just whittled down all the way back from full health.
But necessary.
Here you're going to see me put a radar arrow right in that doorway, and the reason for that is so I can see them walk out the door and know where they're headed, what their intentions are, and what paths they plan on taking, if they plan on flanking us. A lot of players tend to make those things very obvious in this game, and that can be a game changer if you just pay attention to the little movements they do and where their intentions seem to be heading. Here I got hooked by Roadhog, and if you're somebody like Hanzo who only has 200 health, that's almost an instant kill on you every time. I find that to be fair though, to be completely honest, because with Hanzo he can almost half the time single shot most characters. Even Roadhog, when he takes a breather, that's your perfect opportunity to aim for his head and bring him back down to where he was and continue off where you started. Also, if you hear Junkrat using his ult and it's not your allies, which you'll most of the time know because it's very loud if it's your enemy, just honestly, if you have a mic, tell your teammates to just disperse, run off like a bunch of cockroaches when the light turns on, because He might get one of you, but it's better than him landing right in the middle of your team and wiping you guys out. If you can help it, you should try and shoot that tire though, because that'll completely cancel his ultimate. He'll have to start from scratch on getting that back up.
Hello? Anyone out there?
A lot of people tend to forget this too. That radar arrow is perfect for setting up your ult. You pop that radar arrow and you can tell where everyone's at, and once they get grouped up down a hallway, you drop that ultimate. You can pretty much clear an entire team if you hit it right.
Start over at the beginning. Target-rich environment.
You never want to stay in one place for too long. You constantly want to place your shots and move around, take vantage points, and force their team to change up their positioning, because then you're giving your team the opportunity to pour through and push the point. If you're not constantly moving around, your team is going down one little lane, and you're asking for somebody to use their ult on your entire team, and team kill you guys. It's like when you're playing against the computer and they all stand right next to each other, and you can pretty much wipe them all out because they're not spread out. They're not taking their own positions and filling their role.
I am ready to revive you.
If Mercy happens to say she's ready to use her ultimate, that's the one time you want to group up though. You all want to push that one spot all at once, all close to each other, because then even if their team manages to kill you, Mercy can revive you all and you've done a bunch of damage already, hopefully. And then you can finally make that final push and push your team forward. When Mercy is on Pharah, that is a force to be reckoned with. She flies around the battlefield, caring for Pharah in every way possible, boosting her damage, healing her back up to normal health, and then she can just start the cycle anew.
Dragon stirs within me.
Winston reporting. We need to stop the payload. We must intercept.
Like I said before, you can hear Junkrat's ultimate very clearly, and you'll see me use the reflecting arrow and shoot it below the tire. The reason for that is if you shoot the reflecting arrow beneath somebody's feet and it all happens to reflect right into them, it can completely annihilate most players, even tanks, in a single blow. And if you do it to somebody's ultimate like Riptire, it's almost a guaranteed shutdown.
I must reclaim my honor.
Enemies re-engaging.
My ultimate is ready. Yuga wagateki wo kurau!
Stop the payload!
That was very foolish of me. I should have found a vantage point and took an alternate route, but I didn't. I decided to walk right down the middle and get obliterated by Pharah. Usually you want to find the high ground, especially if you're dealing with Pharah, so that she's not too far away from you. You should also know when playing as Genji, you can actually reflect Hanzo's ultimate, but only when it's still an arrow. The second it turns into a dragon, you can no longer reflect it, and you'll just end up killing yourself.
Helden sterben nicht.
You constantly want to bob and weave and pop, because if he hits you with that hook, you're dead, even if you're a tank. So if you're standing still, you're asking for him to hook you, and you're going to get in a lot of trouble once he does.
Never surrender. Yuga wagateki wo kurau!
I could have saved that ultimate for a much better situation, but I decided it was time to switch up from Hanzo. He wasn't fulfilling the role that we needed him to. We need to switch to Soldier 76 and try and get ourselves a push. Soldier 76 is one of the deadliest characters in the game. He has probably the highest output of damage of all the characters. If you can sustain fire with him, you can kill almost anybody in a matter of seconds.
Heroes never die.
Took you long enough.
Rocket barrage incoming. Helden sterben nicht.
Biotic field activated. Armor here. Thanks.
Enemy contact.
Good choice. I've got you in my sights.
Coming up. I'm ready to
The
resurrect.
person that switched to Mei has to be the smartest person on my team. The reason for that is because she's the perfect defense hero. She's capable of 1v1ing any enemy she comes across. She can beat anyone in 1v1 combat. If you manage to freeze them and headshot them, it's almost a guaranteed thing, especially since she can get away by turning into an ice cube and then regaining all of her health back. Like I said, sensitivity is very important because there are headshots in this game, and if you can pinpoint them, you'll be dealing a lot more damage than your enemy.
Helden sterben nicht.
You can see me start to panic here towards the end, which is the last thing I want to do because this is of pivotal importance. This is the game-defining moment. If we were to even lose one or two of our heroes, our defense is actually gone. But Mercy pops her ult, brings all the characters back, and ends up giving us what we need for our last line of defense.
I'm not a young man anymore.
And here we go, it all comes down to this. 40 seconds left on the clock. And because of Mei popping her ult, that's going to keep their team off the objective for just a few more seconds. You can see now that I have my ultimate, I'm going to save it until I get him to use his for his final push. I'm going to put him down before he can kill my whole team. And even though I died, it's only like 10-20 seconds left on the clock. So unless they get on that point and put it on overtime, we've pretty much got this one in the bag.
Don't let up. It's almost over.
My sights, tricks.
And Soldier 76 uses his ult, which means they will manage to get it on overtime. And if you see Mercy using her ult, make sure to old yeller her ass before checking to be sure of mine. And another fantastic match, except we actually managed to pull through this time.
Play of the game.
And an amazing player of the game by Torbjorn. So this was my first crack at a YouTube video, so I probably didn't do so well. But anyways, let me know what you guys thought and what other things you would like to see me do. Whether it be a different game or a different hero in Overwatch, I'd really like to know your feedback and let me know if you want to see more. Have a great one, guys. Thanks for watching.